How's everybody doing? It's Gregory Patrick, New England's Rare Fishery. I'm going to talk about angelfish again today. Do a little bit of a highlight video on the breeding. You've probably seen before in my angelfish tank. Right now there's 8 and about 55 or 50 gallons, something like that. It's, I don't know, probably one of the metric ones, but it's a nice tank anyway. You know, eight doesn't really belong in there. It's one of those things. I have a bunch of tanks for them, and you know, periodically I take them all out and put them back together. I'm trying to keep the wild line pure. I'm not trying to breed the offspring of these fish and letting them have their full life and you know, a variety of it. So what I do is I put them all in the tank and I try to find the most dominant pairs. And as you'll see, I just took a pair out, and let's switch over to that footage, and you can see real quick they are confused and scared out of the gate. These two were dominating half the tank on their own, like literally forcing the other 6 fish into the corners and everywhere else. But of course you put them in their own tank and they're just little guys, little tiny fish again, and you know, they're all confused here. But you know, of course, all that water is the same as their tank water. It goes right from one to the other. The pH, the temperature, everything is identical. So they really can go back and forth if they want to. But I just don't like netting angels. I move these as little as possible. This process I do not do often. But as you can see, I think I taped this well, I taped it. Geez, that dates me, doesn't it, guys? But recorded this the next morning, and as you can see, just a night together. You know, they wanted to be together. Obviously, they were bullying everybody else out of the way so that they could have the space, but they weren't really doing this kind of behavior. As you can see, they're just sort of poking around together, cleaning the glass. They're making a little nest out of the tank for themselves. And it's really nice to see, actually. And I'll show you what happens in the tank, the other tank, in a little bit. But they went from scared, you know, well, first I should say they went from dominant and, you know, fighting all the time, which was really uncomfortable. But it is, you know, like I said, something you can't let go on for more than a little while until you get your pairs out of these guys, because you don't want anybody to get hurt. So you put them together, and you know, they just, you know, do their husband and wife thing. They go around the house, and they basically live in like most of us live in nowadays. So it's a good story. It's a happy ending, of course. You know, the tank is, of course, basically all clear water. I could go into the technicals and stuff like that. I probably will take out that wood because I don't know if I want the tannins in there after a while. Anybody else, please feel free to comment if you keep tannins in your angel breeders. I'd love to hear it, actually. But I keep the, you know, it's an open top tank. There's really not a whole lot going on because you just you know, have to change the water so often when you're breeding angelfish. I don't even bother, I mean, worrying about evaporation or anything like that. I mean, it's coming out anyway. So it's probably for the best, in my opinion, anyway. So yeah, like I said, I put the, you know, I got to move some more out of there too. I'll show you the new behavior, but I love watching a pair of angelfish just, you know, doing their natural thing. And like I said, these I consider them rare for being in New England. Of course, they came straight out of South America. They came out of rivers in Peru and Colombia, and yeah, I think it's just great. You know, they're gonna make some beautiful little wild caught babies, and that's just fun. But even their offspring are going to have, you know, a slightly different attitude, different behavior, you know, than the ones you'll find at, you know, your average Petco for sure. You know, not knocking anybody. I'm just telling you, there's a difference, and it's worth cultivating in my opinion. But let's go over to the tank now with the 6 angelfish in it. And as you can see, just with, you know, the other 2 out, and you know, they're not bad. You know, aggressive doesn't mean bad fish. Let me tell you, I'll tell you that all day. It just means that they want to breed, you know. And I put them all together to find who, you know, was more apt to do it. There's a few ways you can do it. Right now, none of them are showing strong breeding traits right now in that picture, but as you can see, they're all kind of just hanging out as a little shoal. I still feel like there is some aggression. Now 6 is fine for this tank, but I'm gonna take them out to about 4, which probably means I'm gonna have to sacrifice my fun little garden aquarium thing, you know. But of course, you know, I'm gonna move all that to pots and put them outside. Like, you know, it's just fun, those little projects. So I'll probably do that video next. You guys want to check that out? Little fun things you can do if you have a fish room and you're into this kind of stuff. But as you can see, the behavior is completely different. But I'm still trying to find, like I said, there is one more dominant person in there, a little problem here starting, as you can see. So we're going to have to take 2 more out and keep them a breeding pair. And who knows, you know, with 4 of them in there, I might not have to do anything. They might just pick sides of the tank and be happy. But one last glimpse at the old tank. Have a good one.